Good morning. Welcome to 365 Days of Amazing Stories with Theo Merritt. Here we are, I believe, on day 259. I'm going to start a new story called The Goose Girl. The Goose Girl, many people already know this story. Again, it's a wonderful fairy tale, and within it are great meanings. In any of these stories that we hear, we have to dive in deeply to understand the hidden meanings that are within them, the personalities that are represented in them. And they can be so illuminating because many of these qualities that we have within us can be worked with without much to do if we can see, oh my gosh, I can be like that. We can correct things inside of us rather than having to play it out in real life. So anyway, the Goose Girl. The Goose Girl was, well, the Goose Girl. There was a queen who had lost her husband and lived for many years off the riches that he had gathered together, the people that he had entrusted with his wife's best interests, and as well his daughter, who had been born after his death. Now, his daughter grew up to be a beautiful, beautiful maiden. And at a certain point in time, the queen, her mother, knew that it was time for her to have her own husband, her own destiny. And as was the case back in those days, the marriage was arranged. And she was betrothed to a prince, son of a king, who lived a number of days' journey away by horse or by carriage. Now, the queen had plenty of wealth and riches in order to send a dowry off with her daughter. And she took care of this. She gathered many things together to send with her daughter, and as well as beautiful garments and even a serving maid. And on the day that they left, the queen, tearful, of course, at the parting of her daughter, sent these two ladies on their way. Now, they had not traveled very far. The queen's daughter on a beautiful horse named Falada, and the serving maid on a horse that was not nearly as nice. It was a warm day, and they got to a place where there was a brook that the road went through, and the queen's daughter was very thirsty, for they had been traveling for some time now. And she asked her serving maid to get off of her horse and to bring her some water in a golden cup that had been provided for just such a thing. And the serving maid refused. She said, I'm not going to wait on you. You can get off and get your water yourself. And so the queen's daughter did. She got down off of her horse. She went over to the brook. She bent over the water till her lips touched the stream. And up she got. And I will tell you that before the queen left, she did something, at least that we might find unusual. She had taken a handkerchief. She had pricked her finger with a knife, cut her finger, and she had let fall on this handkerchief 3 drops of her blood, and empowered this handkerchief and the blood to protect and watch over her daughter. Now, as The queen's daughter stood up from getting her drink. One of the drops of blood called out and said something to the effect that if your mother could see what was happening right now, her heart would break in two. The queen's daughter did not know what to do. What could she do? She felt quite powerless in the situation. She stood up, she remounted her horse, and the two of them journeying on their way a bit further. And we'll stop the story there.